A health clinic on the Iron Range is providing free medical care to anyone who needs it, no questions asked.
And new tonight, Northern News Now, Sophia Lauber spoke with providers and patients in Virginia today, hearing how community need is changing and growing.
As many businesses close for the night here in Virginia, the Project Care Free Clinic opens. Providers here are putting in extra hours to ensure everybody receives the care they need, regardless of cost.
This is why I went into medicine. There's no other reason to be here providing medical care for people unless you're going to do it for the people who really need it.
Ascension doctor Lisa Sieber is one of the dozen volunteers who provide free medical services every Thursday evening.
Everybody is seen that wants to come in. I don't question them. You know, we take simple information from them.
The clinic, which opened back in 2011, serves many uninsured patients, like Virginia resident Tim Martinson, who receives help managing his diabetes.
It's too expensive. I'm 65, so it's really expensive for somebody my age.
But clinic leaders say they're also serving more and more people with insurance or access to insurance.
They have insurance available, but it's so expensive that they're choosing whether to pay their insurance bill or whether to pay their housing bill.
While need has increased, providers feel there's still stigma around attending a free clinic. It's a barrier they and Martinson encourage residents to overcome.
You had to do it, you know, otherwise, you know, I don't know what would have happened.
Organizers stress that if you're avoiding the doctor because of the cost, no matter what your insurance status is, this clinic is for you. In Virginia, Sophia Lauber, Northern News Now.
Essentia providers help staff the Virginia clinic. Project Care also operates clinics in Hibbing and Grand Rapids, which are supported by Fairview.